This week on the 80's Emporium, unquestionable loyalty, unconditional love, drool. Judges Dan and Michelle take a look back at the canines of the 80's to figure out which pooch will take home the title of top dog. This is the 80's Emporium's Best in Show.
Hello, my name's Michelle, and this dashing specimen next to me is Charlie! And that's Dan. And we'd like to welcome you to the 80's Emporium's first ever Dogs of the 80's Best in Show, where we'll be featuring the raddest dogs from the 1980s from the categories of film, TV, commercials, and music videos.
That's right, Michelle. Since this year's been a bit rough on all of us,
Rough.
we could think of no better way to bring a little joy and comfort into your life than with man and woman's best friend.
For centuries, dogs have been a major focus in all facets of media. Before television, dogs were movie stars. Before movies, dogs were print ad models. And long before that, they appeared in hieroglyphics and cave paintings. Let's dig right in with the first of our canine contestants.
Portrayed by a rescued shelter dog named Banjo, Alex was often pictured driving a hot rod designed to look like a Stroh's beer can. In his most famous commercial, Alex retrieved beers for his human and his friends while also sneaking a taste for himself.
Now he's pouring yours, now he's pouring mine. Alex, you better be drinking your water.
Alex became so popular, he even inspired a line of cologne, shampoo, and hand lotion.
I was wondering what scent you were wearing.
Introduced in 1980, the animated crime prevention mascot McGruff was the product of an ad campaign initiated by the Department of Justice.
And although many question the choice of an animated talking bloodhound as the spokesdog for crime prevention, McGruff was actually found to be quite effective at taking a bite out of crime.
If only he was that effective at helping you quit drinking, Dan.
Wow, what a hunk.
Get a load of him.
Well, there's a super party animal. His name is Buzz McKenzie.
This original party animal rose swiftly to fame in the 80s, but not without controversy. In 1987, a senator accused Bud Light of using the Bull Terrier's cool persona to encourage underage drinking and demanded that the campaign be stopped.
But eventually Spuds' doodly image was shattered when fans discovered that Honey Tree Evil Eye, who portrayed the stud Spuds, was in fact a female.
What a bitch!
In 1984, these plush puppies hit the market. Each lovable pup came with its own doghouse and certificate of adoption. The Pound Puppies toy line even inspired an animated TV special, 2 animated TV series, and a feature film.
By 1987, the puppies were being offered alongside children's meals at Hardee's and Pizza Hut.
In 1981, MTV brought us 24/7 access to music videos, ultimately making them a key element in marketing and determining popular music. It also provided dogs with another place to shine in the spotlight.
The Pet Shop Boys' hit song Suburbia addressed the violence and hopelessness of youth in middle-class suburbs who felt so trapped and insignificant that they run with the dogs in the streets.
The Grammy Award-winning music video features many dogs, but the real star is a gorgeous German Shepherd, often seen perched right between the boys on a couch.
And we go a little something like this. Hit it.
In '89, the world fell victim to Tone Loc's Funky Cold Medina, which sold over 1 million copies in a single month.
In the video, Rover, an adorable dachshund, drinks Tone Loc's magical love potion, and every canine in the neighborhood shows up.
Just like you when it's happy hour.
You're out with a real strange beast. Make sure she's not wanted by the...
Let's pretend we didn't see that one.
Our next qualifier is a group of animated dogs featured in the video for George Clinton's Funky Forever classic, Atomic Dog.
Did you know, Michelle, he used dogs chasing cats as an allegory for man's animal instinct to chase women?
You're certainly familiar with chasers, aren't you, Dan? The song knocked Michael Jackson's Billie Jean from the #1 spot and remained there for 4 consecutive weeks.
Dogs have been on television shows since the dawn of TV. During the 80s, many previously established canine stars, such as Scooby-Doo and Astro from the Jetsons, continued their historic runs on television. But in the 80s, we also met a whole new class of canine nominees on the small screen.
In the TV series, here's Boomer. The dog literally steals the show. This talented pup couldn't help but lend a paw when someone was in trouble.
Boomer was played by a mixed breed rescue dog named Johnny, who reportedly earned $3,500 a week.
You hear that, Stu?
It's now time to dig into the dark recesses of your mind for one of Disney's strangest misfires, Fluppy dogs.
These animated pastel puppies debuted in a 1986 Thanksgiving special. It was intended to be the pilot for a series, but the special earned such poor ratings that it was never developed any further.
Just like your love life, Michelle. One of Sesame Street's lesser-known Muppet characters is Barkley the dog, who made his debut late in the show's 9th season in 1978 and is still on today.
And now, I can have my lunch. Barkley! Wow!
Unlike most Muppets on the show, Barkley is unable to speak or exhibit human-like capabilities. The puppet is brought to life by a performer inside a full-body costume, with stilts extending each arm and a trigger to control the mouth.
Boy, I wish I had a trigger to control your mouth, Michelle.
Barkley's not the only one with a stick up his ass.
Heart to Heart's four-legged crime-solving pal Freeway was played by a shelter dog named Charlie Gray for the show's entire 5-season duration.
Which is 35 seasons in dog years. And get this, his big trick was he could sneeze on cue.
God bless you, Freeway.
Punky Brewster's adorable doggo friend, Brandon, was played by a golden retriever named Sandy, who started on the show as a puppy and remained in the role throughout the entire series.
In 1988, the series finale featured a wedding for Brandon and fellow golden Brenda.
Ah, I could just die of cuteness overload right now.
Haha, if only. The black and white beagle we all know and love made the leap to the small screen in 1983 when creator Charles Schulz, after years of persuasion, agreed to do the first ever animated Peanuts TV series, The Charlie Brown and Snoopy Show.
This silent but sassy pup is one of the most iconic Peanuts characters, and in 2015 made history again by becoming the first of the Peanuts gang to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
If you're looking for a new bag to haul your dog's toys around in, or a one-of-a-kind t-shirt,
Head over to our online shop and grab your very own 80's Emporium dog swag. Over the years, many lovable dogs have appeared in movies, from Lassie to the Shaggy Dog, to Bolt, to Michelle on a Sunday morning. But few dogs tout the clout of the contestants in this category.
There are plenty of buddy cop movies, but only one involves a man and dog duo. 1989's Turner and Hooch stars America's dad, Tom Hanks, and the best buddy you could ever ask for, Beasley the French Mastiff.
Oh! No!
Despite being only 17 months old, Beasley was so strong that Hanks often had trouble holding onto his leash, which ruined many takes.
You're no stranger to ruining takes, are you, Dan?
The bottomless mimosas weren't going to drink themselves, Michelle.
No, they weren't.
One of the most beloved dogs in cinema history is a mixed breed dog named Benji. In the 80s, Benji was played by the daughter of the original Benji in the 70s.
1980's Oh Heavenly Dog starred Chevy Chase as a murdered detective who is reincarnated as Benji himself. Chase and Benjine received equal above-title top billing, extremely rare for an animal co-star, let alone alongside one of the biggest stars of the decade.
next up is Doc Brown's time-traveling sheepdog mix, Einstein.
The role was played by a dog named Tiger in Back to the Future, but he aged out before the sequels could be filmed and was replaced by Freddy. Thanks to time travel, we also get to meet Doc's dog from the 50s, a terrier mix named Copernicus.
Looks like human actors aren't the only ones who age out.
I've aged 7 years since this video started.
Hi, how are you, little fella? Easy.
Dinky the dog only lasted for a few scenes in National Lampoon's Vacation.
But managed to leave a lasting impression in both our hearts and on the pavement.
Tough little mutt. Yeah.
Hachiko Monogatari
Tells the famous true story of the loyal dog who waited at a train station for his deceased owner every day for 9 years.
It was the #1 film in Japan that year, and it spawned a US adaptation as well, starring Richard Gere. To this day, a statue stands in Hachiko's honor at the train station. Dan, are you crying?
No, I just had a lot of emotions. Voiced by Corey Feldman and Kurt Russell, Copper is one half of an unlikely pair in 1981's The Fox and the Hound, the first ever Disney animated feature to utilize computer graphics.
But what most people probably don't know is that one of the uncredited animators on the project was a young man by the name of Tim Burton, who went on to create a dog movie of his own. A kid-friendly homage to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein featuring a boy and his undead bull terrier took 15 days to shoot with a budget of $1 million, a high price for a 29-minute movie.
Deemed too scary for kids, the movie saw little daylight until Disney released it on VHS in 1992, 8 years after its completion. You know something about seeing little daylight for 8 years, don't you, Michelle?
I have friends.
Disney and Burton would collaborate again in 2012 to revive Frankenweenie for a full-length, stop-motion animated feature.
A little-known film that touts an impressive 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, The True Story, yes, True Story, White Dog, explores whether racism is a treatable issue or an incurable condition through the behavior of the titular white German Shepherd.
Dog trainer Carl Lewis Miller worked with 5 German Shepherds to portray White Dog in the film.
For anyone who's met an overly energetic dog with an owner who doesn't seem to notice, this scene from Airplane featuring Shep the Golden is surprisingly relatable.
Sit. He gets so excited when new people are here.
I'm in.
Disney's Oliver and Company puts a cat and dog twist on Oliver Twist. And although the title character is a cat, Oliver's first ally and subsequent best friend is Dodger, a streetwise Jack Russell Terrier voiced by Billy Joel.
The first animated film to gross $100 million worldwide in its initial release, Oliver and Company prompted Disney to begin releasing animated features yearly, and they haven't missed a year since.
Just like you never missed a singles night.
And you've never been sober. This little gem of a beagle was played by a canine actor named Peanuts. It took 2 months to train Peanuts to perform the trick where Toby retrieves a screwdriver from a toolbox.
Huh? Sorry, did you say something about a screwdriver?
For the famous scene where Toby plays a very convincing dead dog, Peanuts was given a mild sedative.
All he wanted was for you to be happy in this car.
You'd think a movie with only one dog would be fairly easy to film, but the titular ferocious rabid dog in Cujo was played by 5 different St. Bernards, as well as a mechanical head, a stuntman in a dog costume, and a Rottweiler painted to match a St. Bernard.
But for all that, Cujo himself only appears in about 15 minutes of the film.
Literally his 15 minutes of fame.
This unruly pack of hounds is one of the many iconic and memorable gags from the classic holiday flick, A Christmas Story. Most famous for tormenting Ralphie's already irritated old man and ruining the family's entire Christmas dinner.
Do you recognize this next film? It features the animated German Shepherd Charlie B. Barkin, voiced by Burt Reynolds, and his best dachshund friend, Itchy Itchford, voiced by Dom DeLuise.
The film struggled at the box office, as it came out the same day as Disney's The Little Mermaid, but it was ultimately a huge success and remains one of the best-selling VHS releases ever.
It's the animated classic All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Well, our next dog might be an exception to that rule. The canine character in 1989's French horror flick Baxter is unlike most evil dogs portrayed in film. While Cujo and White Dog were both clearly just animals in bad situation, Baxter is portrayed as having human-like thoughts and consciously choosing to commit evil, murderous acts.
This Jack Russell Terrier is sadly uncredited for his role in the highly successful Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But Quark made his mark on history not just by saving the day, but by serving as one of the first live-action dogs in a Disney movie following decades of animation.
And now, just like Michelle's friends, let's dip into the early 90s.
The Sandlot's famously misunderstood antagonist was played by a friendly English Mastiff named Gunner.
Thanks in part to Michael Squints Palladorus, Hercules started out with a bad reputation. And to make that overgrown story seem real, a massive and terrifying puppet was used to portray the beast that stood over 5 feet tall.
Quiet! Are you trying to wake it up? It just went to bed.
What just went to bed?
Shh. The beast.
And now, for our Best in Show winner. The envelope, please. And the winner is... Hold it right there.
You didn't think we were going to decide for you, did ya? As for which dog of the 80s wins Best in Show, that's up to you. Follow our YouTube page over the next few weeks and vote for your favorites in our online polls. We'll announce the winner on this channel, so stay tuned.
Aw, we didn't want it to be over either, but don't be melancholy. Remember to subscribe and hit that doggone notification bell and be the first to see our new 80s videos. Be sure to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Need a last-minute gift for someone special? If so, you can now find our very own Stu Pollard on Cameo, where he is raising money for truancy.org, a nonprofit that supports families and filmmakers.